Hi, my name is Shawn Shaler. This is Chris Ford, aka The Objective Geek, and we are going to do something a little bit different. Not for any particular reason, but we just felt like doing it. And so today we decided we wanted to talk about our top 5 animated Disney movies. So specifically from Walt Disney Animation Studio, not Pixar or anything like that. And also, Chris, I don't know if you noticed, but I brought in a very esteemed guest. And it's my wife.
The
Heather.
most esteemed.
The most esteemed.
No.
She's easily the most important person that lives in my apartment. Easily the most important.
I'm slightly above
Okay.
Charlie.
A hair above the dog. Well, I'm a hair below.
Or
so
fur
there's-
above the dog.
Oh.
It's not fur once it's all over the house. It's dog hair at that point. It's only fur when it's on him. It's hair when it's in the house.
So I'm slightly
That's
above the
possibly
the
a very
hair
valid
that's on
point.
the couch.
Yeah, something like that. And the reason that I wanted her to be on here is because she has also watched Disney movies, and that qualifies her to participate today. No, but the real reason, I thought it would be a little sad if it was just us talking about Disney movies and we didn't have the female side represented at all. Like, are we really going to pay the same amount of attention to like classic Disney princesses and stuff as a young woman would have? So I was like, we need a girl on this. Maybe not. It's probably not that important. But
No,
anyway,
good point, because I think most of the Disney princesses are overrated.
I do as well. And, well, I won't spoil Heather's answers, but I also do. So I am a little excited that my wife agreed to be in this with us. So this is my wife, Heather.
Hello.
And she's not really a nerd. I mean, she is, but not in the same way as us. But she watches movies, so that's good enough for us.
And I have seen Avatar. I just can't go into depth like the two of you.
It's more of an ability to talk than anything. It's less about
And
knowledge.
she's also
more.
into Harry Potter, so
Yes.
Very big into Harry Potter, and she will play certain video games. There's a weird niche of video games that she will play, and then she reads all. So she's nerdy, but just maybe a different kind of nerdy.
You also forgot
Yeah.
I quilt video game quilts, and that's probably the most nerdiest thing that I do.
That's more like old lady nerd.
well, old lady. Yeah, okay, I could be an old lady
that's
nerd.
That's an old lady nerd.
I'm an 80-year-old nerd.
You are. I'm so proud to be married to you. But hey, as a surprise, we're actually going to lead off with Heather. You know, I'll give a little more exposition first, and that's basically that no science, no objectivity whatsoever, much to the disregard of Chris's name. We just felt like talking about our 5. Someday we'll get scientific with it, but I don't have the knowledge base to feel good about that. And so today we're just talking about favorites, mostly to make ourselves feel better about the terrible Avatar episode we have to talk about later. Just wanted a lighter subject. So without any further ado, we are going to start with Heather and Heather's top 5. Here we go.
Oh. So,
Ooh,
for honorable
I'm sorry.
mention, we chose 2, and I picked Robin Hood and Bolt. For both very different reasons. I love Bolt. It's one of those that I can just sit down and watch anytime, any day. It's got a little bit of everything, some feel good, some humor. Rhino the hamster, how can you not love him? And Robin Hood for nostalgic reasons. I just always is something I grew up with and I really like to watch.
And number 5.
Number 5, Jungle Book. Lots of good music in this one. I mean, who doesn't love bare necessities and doesn't immediately try and find like a tree to rub their back on? I mean, it's just something that you, it's very catchy.
what other songs are in the Jungle Book that are big highlights for you?
Yeah, Heather.
Oh,
I just can't remember.
do you
I've only
mean?
seen that movie like one time.
You're not
Sorry, I
prepared
just
for
can't
a-
remember.
Like,
No,
Jungle Book isn't one of those. I'm a man. Like, I recently made a whole freaking list, like a mixtape of my favorite Disney movies. And then I went through every single Disney movie, got to Jungle Book. I was like, all right, which ones do I want? And yeah, Bear's Necessity is good, but I don't want any of them.
yeah.
Not to say that you're wrong.
I can't think of what it's called, but the one where the orangutan, the king.
I Wanna Be Like You.
I want to be like you. That is it.
Yeah.
It's funny, he says it a billion times.
Oh,
That
okay.
would be the name of the song.
What's the name of that song where he's like, I
You know
want to be like
where
you?
He says, I want to be like you. Moving on to number 4. There's something about the evil Ursula in this movie. I didn't really scare easily as a child, but that scene legitimately frightened me when she grew to like 1,000 times and popped out of the water. And it was just such a change from how sweet the rest of the movie is. I mean, the rest of it's pretty light and floaty, and she's kind of ditzy and loves her favorite things. I don't know. It's just kind of a traditional love story, and then you get to this big old mean Ursula in the middle, and I don't know.
I can barely watch. There's 2 movies I can barely watch because of Kingdom Hearts. And one of them is Little Mermaid because I hate the Little Mermaid stages. And then the other one is Pinocchio. Spoiler alert, Pinocchio is not on my list. Just because of Kingdom Hearts, I hate those stages so much that I've seen the Little Mermaid maybe one time, and that's why. Sorry.
I really love that song, part of your world. And the other songs are good, but part of the world, I just part of your world. That made part of the world. My daughter is currently learning how to play that on piano.
Beautiful.
But I don't have a clip here to show you, but
next time.
But I do love that song. Yeah, next time. Put it in the
I did not know you.
But no, I like Little Mermaid.
I grew up with a friend, my best friend loved this movie, was obsessed, like to the point that she would comb her hair with a fork, like Little Mermaid. So I think it's
dedication to the game.
A special place because of that. And so, anytime I'd see things that were Little
Chris
Mermaid
related,
Chris
is looking for a fork right now.
to comb his long flowing locks.
Yeah. I was looking for where I had my Disney Blu-rays at, or my Disney DVDs, because I do have the Little Mermaid on Blu-ray.
It's funny because we're talking about the Little Mermaid, and Chris is sitting in front of a wall of his treasures.
Well, let's hope Triton doesn't come in and blow them up.
No, it's gonna be fine.
I mean, I have Aquaman here.
So you're gonna be safe.
Close enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wouldn't that would have been a great a great Easter egg if on Ariel's shelf if there had been like a little Aquaman figure back there. What a great Easter egg.
What do you call this again? Superhero.
Number 3, I put the Aristocats.
Oh gosh,
I love the
See, we
dogs.
needed a girl on this. We needed a girl on this show.
Yes, no, there's several very, very good scenes that I still quote, and you do too.
Dogs.
For that, I mean, the dogs and the Aristocats
dogs
are
amazing.
hilarious. And the boss dog.
I have never seen Aristocats.
I'll say when it's over.
It's over.
Love that dog. I'll give her that. I love the dog.
Yeah, the dog's great. And there's also a part where the little orange kitty is trying to be a yeah. And I can't tell you why, but that comes up a lot, and I find myself making that sound.
It comes up a lot in this house, yeah.
And they also somehow pay the butler, the dogs do, and it just is a very comical scene, and they have him pegged down to the shoe size and a squeaky sole, and they name off all this stuff, and it ends with them riding around on a motorcade with a haystack over them and the umbrella sticking out the top. I mean, it's just a ridiculous movie, and I love it.
Sound like you
Heather
just described a Jackie Chan fight scene.
It would be good.
Heather also loves animals, probably a little more in her movies maybe than we do, I think. Maybe not. I don't know.
I do. Number 2, I put Princess and the Frog. This one just because it has a little bit of everything. I mean, there's some humor, there's some good story, some great values of hard work and, pull yourself up, but don't forget to have fun along the way. And a lot of the little quirks they put in there where they make the alligator Louis Armstrong and, stuff that only adults would get. But still being very kid friendly, and they mix in just some funny humor. along the way. I mean, who can forget when they pull the prickly things out of the alligator's butt? And
Oh, that was great.
I don't know. Very funny when
And all the
go ahead.
I would say all the accents are really good in that movie. I won't speak too much on Princess and the Frog.
Why? Why won't
Yeah.
you speak too much on Princess and the
Is
Frog,
this
Chris?
a hint for later
I don't know.
on, Chris?
I don't know either.
And I like along the accents line, just the lightning bug Ray.
My
He is
Angeline.
Oh, that's the main one I'm thinking about.
Buddy, those are-
just priceless. And he makes
Like-
me think. So this is kind of a little off topic, but we went to was it Bonner Springs, and they
Springs.
have the Moon Marble factory there, and we went.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't even look up where this moon marble was because we were gonna grab
This is
lunch
before
first.
I owned a smartphone.
Yeah,
like this was in college.
back in college, so we didn't have smartphones. We didn't really look up where we were going. And we get there, eat lunch, and we figure we'll just ask one of the local people where the Moon Marble place is. It's a real small town. They'll know where it is. First guy we stop has the thickest Louisiana accent I've ever heard in my life.
Bonner Springs,
In
Kansas.
Bonner Springs, Kansas. And I'm going to sound terrible, but he said, "Oh, everybody know where the Moon Marble is."
There was no S's in a
Nothing.
sentence that contained at least 5 S's.
And Shawn and I shared a look when this happened, and then
He
I don't
started
know.
talking about politics and stuff,
Yeah,
and we
he
couldn't
went-
understand a
he
word
went
he
off.
said.
Thankfully, somehow in that he showed us where the Moon Marble factory was, and that was a very unique trip that we took.
It's a fun time.
But yeah, so that's Louisianan accent, and so I always think of that guy when we watch Princess and the Frog and we see Ray.
That was very tangential, but I appreciate the story.
Yes.
Good
Number
time.
one is Lion King. By far my favorite movie growing up. I must have watched it a bajillion times, and I remember one Christmas, I think everything I got had Lion King on it. I had a Lion King lunch pail, a Lion King umbrella, and Lion King slippers. I mean, it went on, and roller skates, those were fun. They had zebra prints on them. They made everything.
Because
for
lines
Lion
really don't have a
King.
print.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like,
would just
claw
be-
marks? What do you,
It'd be
Fake tears.
Sweet tan shoes.
with a mane? They'd have fur coming around
Yeah.
the outside of the boot.
Ma, why are you giving me these turd-looking shoes with hair on it?
Why are they made of suede?
Yeah.
That's real suede.
No, Lion King was very powerful too. I think even as a kid, I understood some of the more adult themes in there of losing a parent and you know how you, even if you've lost your way, it's all part of growing up, and how you can come back and make things right and choose the right thing. So I don't know, that I think Lion King will just always have a special place in my heart, and I will always be able to sit down and watch that. And that's another good one that has several songs in it.
Now, speaking of songs, I have a huge issue with Hakuna Matata because, and now I think I'm getting too objective about it, but Hakuna Matata.
Chris, this is a subjective
Straight up.
podcast.
No. Hakuna Matata straight up contradicts the meaning of the movie. And like,
Yeah.
Hakuna Matata's like, no worries, whatever. No, Simba, you need to go be the king. Like, people depend on you.
It's-
Nah.
Eh,
Why don't you put your
People love that
Batman
song.
responsibilities on the shelf for a minute, Chris? Enjoy The Lion King. I'm just kidding. I don't like the movie.
No,
but
this is
spoiler
why
alert.
Hakuna Matata, though, was from his growing up years where he didn't have any worries because he was a kid and he didn't know any better. And so Hakuna Matata was just Timon and Pumbaa ignoring all of their adult responsibilities.
Pick your role models, kids.
Now, I do.
I don't like the song.
And the thing about the
Prepared.
song. What? Oh my God.
No, the song. No, she's right. We
thing
don't
is-
ever agree on this stuff, but she's right. The song "Be Prepared" is
It is amazing.
it's
No, okay.
mildly catchy
I like-
at best.
I like the
mildly
drums.
catchy at best.
The drums are awesome and Be Prepared, but I feel like it was
You know,
like they were trying to make Scar seem like Hitler and
it's supposed to.
well, I know that, but I just think it was a cheap way to get that across.
So you're telling me if you saw Hitler... Sorry, different topic, different time.
That's a great John
Well, there was
Mulaney
a guy that
bit.
looked like Hitler.
We can't get started
Anyway,
there. I'll never stop.
Thank you,
Heather,
John Mulaney.
Heather, that was a great top 5 with which I almost completely disagree.
I know it.
But it's a great top 5. Thank you very much.
The good thing
Fine. I
is
probably
we may
agree with her
disagree.
more, but we'll see.
Yeah, and we may disagree, but we will both watch each other's lists pretty happily.
I will say I have never seen the Aristocats.
Never ever?
Oh, so that's why you didn't appreciate our impersonations.
Yeah,
or our
that's why
impression.
he didn't get. You gotta go watch. I'm telling you,
This is why.
your daughter, especially your daughter,
Your daughter's gonna
will
love the
love
Aristocats.
this.
You know, it's very catchy. It's
It's
so
the one
much.
I
It's
tell-
very cute
I had
and catchy.
I had a coworker whose granddaughter's about your daughter's age, and she was looking for movies to watch with her, and I told her Aristocats, and it was right on par. She loved it, so I'm just saying that every little girl really should watch Aristocats. It's great.
Every little girl's dream should be to watch Aristocats.
Not a dream. No, they just should do it.
Heather, I'm not gonna lie. You will watch my list happily. I probably won't watch your list happily. I will actively oppose watching The Little Mermaid, and for the most part, I will not usually watch Lion King. Not a fan.
Yeah.
See, that's just ridiculous.
Lion King is a slow movie. It's not for everybody. That's all I'm saying. It's a
we've
slow
determined that my circle is like this big, and your circle is like this big, but it's within my
movie.
circle.
It crosses over about halfway with your circle.
Yeah.
Chris, I accidentally did mine next. I don't know that it matters too much, but I put my name there.
Okay.
And your list, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope I put my list and not yours. We'll find out. Oh yeah, this is my list. Okay,
This is your list.
this is definitely my list because nobody else likes Wreck-It Ralph and Tangled as much as I do. But allow me to explain that these are honorable mentions and not my top 5 because they each have one something that's like my favorite something of all time. So Wreck-It Ralph, I love the pep talk scene when he's at the Bad Guys Anonymous. That's one of my favorite scenes in any movie ever when Zangief is giving him the pep talk.
Just because you are
Just
a bad
because
guy.
you are a bad guy does not mean you are a bad guy. And then it also pertains to my favorite subject matter, right? It's about video games. And then Tangled has the greatest song in all of Disney,
It was a really good
period, ever. The I Got a Dream song is the best Disney song. That's a fact.
What song?
I've Got a Dream.
What song is that?
Where she's in the bar.
she gets all the big
on my
reference.
this list of I made two CDs. Like I legit was trying to make this list for like 2 days straight. I got to Tangled. I put at Last to See the Light and
That's a cute one. Mother Knows Best.
no, I don't like that song.
I don't either. Ari loves it. Off topic. Sorry.
Dang it. When will my life begin?
That's a good
Wait,
one. Both
is that
cute.
the song?
Both cute.
Is that the first song?
Yes.
I think When Will My Life Begin is a great song. But I did not add I Have a Dream or I Have a whatever it is.
I think it's I've Got a Dream
I add
or
it?
I Have a Dream. I actually
I've
don't
got a
remember.
dream. I Have a Dream is way too Martin Luther King-y.
You of all people should have
Copyright.
added I Have a Dream, Chris Ford. Went a different direction I intended. No, it is certainly my favorite song. I will actively just probably once a week or so I will pull up I've Got a Dream and just listen to it on him.
Every once in a while, I'll hear him humming it to himself.
That means I listened to it that day. So number 5, Mulan. Honestly, maybe the subject matter is a little heavier than I would accept in most of my cartoon movies, just because it's so deep and real. But it's just such a good, well-rounded movie.
War and sexism.
Yeah. But it's such a good, deep, real movie in every respect. It's got everything in it, and I love it. It's a great movie.
It's a good.
Number 4 is Aladdin, mostly because I love Robin Williams. Who doesn't? Love the genie. Everybody loves it. And then, I mean, it's a really good story around it. But I admit, if Robin Williams or if anybody else was Genie, it probably wouldn't be on my list at all. But it's a very good movie overall.
Will Smith will be Genie and
What's that?
what? No, I would say Will Smith will be Genie in the live action adaptation.
Oh, is that
Coming
true?
out.
We just saw our
Yes,
first
it
ad
was
for
very
that
true.
like
They're
a couple
filming
days
it
ago,
now.
but we didn't
A
see
teaser
it.
trailer came out for it like a couple weeks ago. It was very teaser-ish, like barely showed anything. It was
Nothing,
just showing Aladdin reaching for the lamp.
They did like that's like
tiger.
the opening scene or whatever
Big
of the
tiger.
original cartoon
Yeah.
series,
Yeah.
I think. So they did the same thing like they did with Beauty and the Beast, where they tried to make it frame by frame the same. But
Well-
it doesn't really give away a whole lot.
We'll watch it. We're not theater people. We probably won't watch it in theaters, but we're both fairly excited for that based on the very limited preview.
And you said Will Smith was going to be Genie?
Yes, Will Smith plays. He plays the genie, and everyone else is pretty much no-name people. The Pink Ranger from the most recent Power Rangers movie will be playing Jasmine.
Oh,
Oh,
Nice.
wait, yeah, and everyone else I don't know.
that's cool though. I mean, like, give Genie his spotlight, and that's kind of what they did for the original, so it makes sense.
Okay. Well, so Aladdin, I like Aladdin. I really like the story. I actually don't love the music, but I really like the story. Oh, I thought you were raising your hand because you had a question. All right. Number
Yes,
3.
Chris.
Yeah. Number 3 is Zootopia,
very
which,
good.
in my opinion, is probably maybe one of the best Disney movies ever. Maybe won't be in everybody's favorite, and that's fine. But it is an excellent movie, top to bottom. It's interesting, got a little bit of everything. That's probably my theme, is stuff that has, like, a little bit of everything. There again, that's pretty real subject matter, but they do such a nice job, and it's just an engaging. I could sit down and watch that every day, I think, and I'd be happy. Number 2, Princess and the Frog. Same thing, exactly what Heather said. What I like about Princess and the Frog is that it is a much lighter subject matter. It's a much lighter material. The whole thing is goofy and fun, and even the scary parts. And I mean, they're scary, but it doesn't have any sort of semblance, not much semblance of reality,
Yeah.
I guess, to him. It just, I don't know.
But
It's a
yeah,
very
the
goofy,
Voodoo Man-
fun, exciting movie.
The Voodoo Man seems like scary, but like below Scar scary.
Yes.
Which is maybe
Yeah,
not. He's scary,
goofy
but
villain scary. Like,
no, he's not that frightening. Ursula's more
really,
scary. Maleficent, I think, is more scary. So yeah.
I do think that every Disney movie in that kind of genre like that, like Princess-y, has
those have the scariest
they
villains.
all have a scary part to them. And so like,
Yeah.
you can almost pick them out. It's like they've got to have one, and that's the quota they have to meet for it. And there's always one semi-scary scene. And even in Princess and the Frog, it's not all that scary. I mean, it's when they're trying to take him and they're in the cemetery, and I think the music is probably more scary than anything because
Yeah.
it's very fast-paced.
But it's very energetic.
Yeah.
I love his song of "Are You Ready?" Like it's just like
That's a
just,
good one.
"Are you ready?"
Yeah.
The thing that I like about
Like,
Princess
it's
and the
just-
Frog music is that it's not stuff that I would go listen to separately, but I don't know if any music fits better into its own movie that like just fits
Great point.
It
Yeah.
just goes with it. It just feels right in there, and it feels like it's just flowing the whole way through. And I can't even tell you where songs stop and start. They just blend
That's-
perfect.
Appropriate.
So
The thing is, that's how Louisiana is. It's like
it just blends.
I've never been there before, but I think they really show you Louisiana. Like that first song, like I used to not listen to that much, but like I said, I listen to a lot of Disney songs. One of the things, I have kids in the car, and I'm like listening to the radio and like
Whatever.
other music
Yeah,
with
it's
them.
'cause the kids.
So most of the time, but I never
that too.
skip. I never skip that "Come On Down to New Orleans" song or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just
so peppy and exciting.
it's like jazz music. Yeah, it's like grab somebody, come on down, dum, 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 grab a paintbrush, we're painting the town. I don't know. I just like I don't usually listen to that music, but loved it.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's not stuff that you might love listening to separately, but it just fits the movie so well. So on that theme, knowing there again that I like pretty goofy stuff, pretty soft stuff. Heather knows my number 1. Chris, do you want to try to guess my number 1?
Well, you just said the word goofy. I'm gonna guess the Goofy movie.
Oh no, I didn't even consider that because I didn't
Not a-
consider
not
that
a
a feature.
clue.
I don't think that was a feature film. I think that was.
No, yeah, it was.
Is it? Well,
It
it's
wasn't
not.
in
It
that
was not a
list.
goofy movie.
Although,
yeah. It was not on that
technically,
list.
I don't think it's.
I
I
don't
don't
think
think
it's
it's
a feature film.
within. It's a feature film, but I don't think it's technically Walt Disney Animation Studios. I think it was a slightly different animation, like a smaller animated studio. So it's
Yeah,
not.
Sides, dude.
I don't think it would belong on this list.
Well, I didn't mean to give any hints in that sense. I just like it's not a serious Disney movie, but no. Any other guesses? You don't have to. I don't care.
Frozen.
I will come to your house right now and I will hit you. I will hit you. It's Hercules.
Ooh, Hercules.
I love Hercules. It's so. It's not quite meta, but just the number of semi fourth wall scratchy type things they do in there that you just don't see in any other movie. Like when Pain and Panic are wearing the sandals and drinking the sodas. And the Scar, like the Scar rug Easter egg that they drape over Hercules for the painting. And there's so many of those little things that I think you might see in other previous movies, but not to the extent of just Hercules was, I don't know. Like I said, I don't think meta is the right word, but very, very self-aware maybe is the right way to put it. Very not taking itself seriously. And so, love Hercules. I would never call it like a great Disney movie pure quality wise, but it's the one that if I had to watch one just all the time, I'd pick Hercules.
We do.
We watch it frequently. It's always on Netflix forever. I don't know why. It seems like it's always there.
Well, like they're like tier 2 movies are always on Netflix. Like not in terms of quality that I think, but just like I don't know. You know, there's those Disney movies that go into the vault and never come out. Like Mulan isn't one of them, and Mulan's on Netflix. And Hercules will also fall in that, and also Hunchback Notre Dame will like fall into that.
Like I said, I would never try to argue anybody that is the best movie because it's a different type of Disney movie. But it is my favorite. I love Pain and Panic,
love that music.
And I love James Woods so much in that movie. James Woods is a genius. And that's my top 5. Chris, you ready?
Yes, I am. All right. Honorable mentions. Very similar to Heather, Robin Hood. I just love Robin Hood as a kid. Like that was one of those movies that I would, if I was sick, I would either watch that or watch Scooby-Doo meets Batman.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
I just
love
the second greatest Scooby-Doo movie of all time.
Yeah, I just love Robin Hood so much. I love that song, Robin Hood and Little John go through the forest. Oh, just loved it. And then Aladdin, pretty much for all the reasons you all have. I don't love Aladdin. I love Aladdin, but I don't love it all that much compared to some of the other movies. But
agreed.
It's great, and Genie was amazing, and Jafar turning into a freaking snake, Cobra thing was really cool.
I don't remember what year Aladdin came out, but I feel like I can safely say we had not seen anything like Genie in any Disney movie before.
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Well, and when I'm thinking of like meta or self-referential or stuff, when I think of all the stuff that Genie's doing, like in that movie, I don't know. He's at one point he becomes a golfer and he's talking about a pitching wedge. Like he does a lot of weird, crazy stuff in there.
Like the stuff he referenced goes completely over kids' heads and goes completely over adults' heads who are adults now because he was referencing like I don't know characters that people knew then. And for some reason, the director was like, "Yeah, Robin Williams, go do whatever. Like, just give us whatever you got,
whatever you feel like. It's gonna be great." And he delivered. So, no, totally in agreement. Total agreement.
Number 5. This is probably a surprise. This isn't really on a lot of people's list, I think.
It surprised me, Chris. It
Meet the Robinsons.
Infuriated me.
Infuriated you.
I took offense to this. No, I was very surprised. I don't know about Heather.
Surprised, but I do love this movie, so I don't disagree.
Wait, this movie is always on the Disney Channel for some reason. I don't know why, but it thinks I don't even own this movie. I just love watching it whenever it comes on. But I mean, just the story of a family and knowing just like always keep your head up, keep on trying, and then time travel is involved. So I just love that aspect of it.
See,
and then just a story of like, whatever. And then just a story of like a son going back in time and spending time with his dad. Like, I would love to go back in time and spend time with my dad. I mean, I don't know what he was doing. I'm sure we were into much different things. But
you don't
actually,
think
maybe
he
we
would be
wouldn't.
into making a Disney podcast with you?
No. My dad. One thing, my dad at 30 had 4 kids, and
It
He
makes
didn't
me
have
wonder what I'm doing
comprehension.
with my life right now.
I was 5. Well, like I could have I hung out with my dad then, but
I will say, very, very cute movie.
It is cute.
I will
There's
give it
lots
that.
of good
Yeah.
good
Oh.
one-liners in there too, like the T-Rex
The
with the big
T-Rex,
head
yeah.
and little arms. I
Yeah,
just don't know how
and
well
I
this
just
plan was
love
thought out.
crazy families because it reminds me of my family. Like my family's a little crazy. You got a crazy kind of no, you don't have a crazy grandma in this, but the patriarch of the family, she's pretty crazy. So just love that aspect of it. All right, on to number 4 is Zootopia for all the reasons you also
Love.
spoke about. But
I keep making hand
this
motions
one
at
of those
you,
movies
forgetting you
that
can't see me.
oh okay.
Oh, that was
Gave you like a 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
From
Oh,
Hammerstein.
nice. Zootopia handles racism in a way that's comedic, but also very relative and relatable. And they still pull off being a children's cartoon movie that everyone can enjoy. And that is not easy to do. And it's funny, and it's just animation is beautiful. The only issue I have with Zootopia, and it's a very nitpicky thing, is that there are only mammals. I don't get why.
That's like its
They have-
own form of racism.
They have birds and stuff too, though.
I know, right?
Do
No, they don't have any birds, I don't think. I think they just have mammals.
Huh.
I haven't thought
I
about that
could
at
have
all.
swore they were birds. I'd have to. Let's watch it again.
Let's watch Zootopia again. So for the record, Heather didn't put that on her list, but it was close. Like
Very
if she had a
close.
few more, so we
Like
all
it should be my 3rd honorable
Yeah.
mention for sure.
we all love Zootopia.
I'm a little more nostalgic, I think, than both of you. Like I had more older
Yeah.
movies.
Yeah.
That's all right. We needed that. We needed that here.
Yeah.
Disney, honestly, freaking lives off of nostalgia. That's their lifeblood.
Yeah. So the next one,
Lock it in the vault.
I think, and it probably gave it away to this point, but is the only one. I think it's your next one that we all 3 had on our list.
It's a good thing you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I was wrong,
Princess
I'd be
and the
very-
Frog. I absolutely love Princess and the Frog. I mean, for somewhat selfish, very subjective reasons. I mean, Tiana is a young Black African American princess, the first one of her kind. I mean, it's a great thing for everyone to look into. And the movie addresses some of that. Like when she tries to buy the house or tries to buy the restaurant, and she saves up all the money she can. Like the bankers are like, "Oh no, woman of your stature, it'll just put a bothersome on you." And it's just like, I get you, Tiana. Like, that's they tackle also a little bit of racism in there, but
At
they
the
did it,
same time,
and
they're
they
telling her
often do that in a
no.
good way.
At the same time, they're telling her no. They're also still stuffing their faces with her beignets.
And one of them
Yes.
is literally dressed like a horse's ass.
Yeah, that also
Yes,
is hilarious.
yes.
One of the finer
Yeah.
points of that whole movie.
Yeah. But the music is amazing in this movie. I love it. It is so genuine for New Orleans, Louisiana. I love it. And also the message of the movie isn't, Tiana, I feel like, was one of the first, or really the second Disney princess that wasn't like a damsel in distress. She was, I'm going to do stuff myself and I'm just going to work hard. And that's a great message for young girls. Also, the thing that I love most about this movie, which I may not have to admit, makes me cry pretty much every time, because also I attach some sentiment to this moment. Around the time The Princess and the Frog came out, my grandmother passed away, like very close to it. Like I went to, like I was in college, and at a college they have like these theaters that they play like oldish movies. So I'll go in there by myself. Well, yeah, I'll watch Princess and the Frog. And the scene, so the bug, the lightning bug, he's like, Eveline's up there, Eveline, my darling Eveline. And everyone's like, is anyone gonna tell him that that's a star? But he's like, one day I just love Eveline. One day I'm gonna be with Eveline. All right, so fast forward, lightning bug dies, which that was sad in itself, but that's not the part that really got
Spoiler
to me.
alert.
Oh,
If you haven't watched Princess and the
so-
Frog by now and you're
Hooray.
watching this video, if you're one of the 5 people that watch this video and you haven't watched Princess and the Frog, you should be ashamed anyway.
Poor Ray.
Poor Ray. So they're at his funeral, right? And everyone is just crying their eyes out. and there's one star up in the air, and it's Evangeline, and everyone's crying, and then the cloud like moves, and a new star appears, and like,
Yeah.
and it's known that that is Ray, and everyone just starts rejoicing and being happy, and I thought to myself like, yeah, like if I'm really, believe in heaven and everything, like I shouldn't be so saddened with this passing, like I should be happy like them. But great moment. Really love Princess and the Frog for that. So yeah, so that will always have a special place in my list and in my heart,
So,
which is why it's very subjective.
so Zootopia and Princess and the Frog, and Zootopia may be a little more heavy-handed with it, but they both address such difficult issues in such a pleasant, relatable, enjoyable way.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel like you're being hit over the face or anything like that. Just
They really walk that tightrope well of making it known that that's what they're addressing, but
It's not
without
easy.
pushing it too far.
yeah,
Yeah.
unlike any other Disney movies probably do in that same sense.
All right, number 2 is Lion King. Like this is just it.
He's
If
making
you
faces at
poll,
FYI.
No, I'm not.
if you polled 1,000
Stretch
people,
it out.
Lion King would be the number one greatest
It would.
Disney
I
animated
admit
movie.
it.
Like Disney stepped up. One thing, they stepped up their animation in this one. The animation looks beautiful, and I love it in 2D. Um, the voice cast is amazing. James Earl Jones, I guess really that's. Oh, and Jeremy Irons as Scar. Both of those two actors, you can just really hear the voices ring out in it. The music's great, all but one song. Be Prepared is amazing. Jeremy Irons' voice is just so captivating. That is the quintessential villain uprising song right there. Like I'm tired of the status quo. Now I'm going to take over. Like and I love the hyenas in the background, just
Chris, this sounds like you're getting a little
everything.
empathetic for with Scar
For
there.
Hitler.
Yeah, for Hitler.
No, no, but that's you love to root for a bad guy. Like I said, this is the biggest uprising in a movie, and it's all Shakespearean. Like it's just Hamlet with animals. The one issue I do very objectively have with Lion King is that I feel like Simba isn't the driving force behind the movie. Like he's not. One thing, I don't think he really changes all that much. He doesn't. I don't think he grows as much as he needs. Everyone is pushing Simba towards towards a certain direction, and he's not being proactive himself. But
He's a
besides
main
that, I love it.
character, but doesn't have the action behind it to back it up, really.
It's
Yeah.
so. Before we go on, we talked a little bit about. I thought it'd be useful to have Heather on here, thinking, she's gonna have some princesses or I don't know something like. I was being a jerk basically because in my head I was like, oh, she's gonna bring some princesses and stuff that maybe we don't care about, and she came back with like the Lion King and Princess and the Frog and Aristocats. Like all she cares about, she don't even like princess. She just likes animals. Little
I
Mermaid.
did have the Little Mermaid,
Yeah,
but that's
Little
sort of
Mermaid.
fishy.
She got fish. Fish, yeah. Say boom, animals.
Flounder's adorable.
If you want Heather to go to your movie, put animals in it.
I'll tell you, Little Mermaid was the one. Did you ever play that game where you had to like pick a category and you'd have to go back and forth naming characters from it?
No.
No. So Disney movies was a lot of them. So we would pick a Disney movie. And
Sounds
then
like
you
a
had-
bad driving game.
You'd have to name the characters from the movies, and I always won the Little Mermaid category because like nobody ever could remember the names of the eels and things like that.
What's the names of the eels, Heather?
Flotsam and Jetsam.
Oh. That's actually pretty impressive, yeah. Color me impressed. Any build up, like a drum roll for number one?
So number one movie I think is the best story in any Disney movie, and that is of Mulan. The story of Mulan is so freaking nuanced and rich, and I just love Mulan as a character because she's right. Like I wouldn't say she doesn't necessarily have a character arc because she's one of those characters who is right and everyone else is wrong, and everyone else has a character arc that hinges on her. I mean, and I just love that she's all about I'm a girl I can do whatever a guy can do in a certain sense, but she's not pushy with it. Like she doesn't go off to war because she wants to prove something. Like that's kind of stupid, just trying to prove something. She's going to there just to protect her father. Um, and the whole conversation they have about knowing your place and everything, and she knows her place. Her place is doing what's right.
Her
And then
motivations
the end of the
supersede
yes,
sexism or just ambition or anything like that, and that's pretty cool.
yeah. And the point of the movie, I think, gets summed up at the end because everyone is talking about like what honor means, like bringing honor to your family, and all those things. So by the end of it, and when she masterfully beats, dang, I forgot his name. The I forgot the main guy's name, which sounds stupid on my
Uh,
part since this is my favorite
Attila?
movie.
Zang, Zang,
Well,
Zhao.
um,
Zang.
the dang it, the head of the uh,
Is
anyway.
Is it Attila?
No, it's not Attila.
What the heck is his
it
name?
like Zang or
Mongolian guy?
Well, he's to defeat the
What is his name?
Huns.
I
I
don't
mean,
know his
head of the
name. I don't
Huns.
remember. He's a good villain.
Whatever. Okay, he's a good villain. Yeah, but the first time she beats him by outsmarting, while everyone else wanted to completely attack him, she used her brains, and then she beat him a second time. Then so she saves all of China. All China bows to her, a woman, when people wouldn't even listen to a woman before that. Um,
We don't know the
uh,
villain's name because the real villain here is societal constructs.
yeah, yeah.
Shawn Yu.
So then the emperor says, "Here, take this sword, so you can show your family what you've done for China, and then take this medallion." Dang it, no, that's wrong. It says, "Take the sword, so that your family know China, and take this medallion, so the whole world will know what you did for China." So she goes back home. Her father's sitting in there, and she says, "Father, I brought you the medallion of the emperor, and I brought you um, Shao House, whatever his name is,
Shawn Yu.
sword." And he has them in his hand. He just throws them to the side because at that point, honor means nothing. It is all about family and loving those close to you and caring for them. And that's his character arc. Like he just threw these priceless artifacts to the wayside just to hug his daughter again. So yeah, so I think one is definitely one of the greatest stories that Disney's ever had, and also it's just about war and the price of war and what it has on soldiers and the effect it has on families. It's just an amazing movie.
Don't forget the music.
Oh, and the
Amazing
yes,
music.
thank you. I was about to say the music is amazing. The Mulan, her solo, Reflection, I think is the second greatest Disney song. It is so applicable
What's your
to
number one
pretty
Disney
much,
song?
huh?
What's your number one Disney song? I thought that was your favorite.
I'm about to get to my number one favorite Disney. It's also in Mulan,
All right, I got you.
but but Reflection is so applicable to anyone who feels like they're not the way they kind of want to look, or they're not the way that they want to be. Whether um, you're I don't know, gay or lesbian, or whether you have body issues or anything like that. Like that's one of those songs that everyone can relate to. Like it's the Let It Go before Let It Go happened, but it's a much better song. Even though that's a good
Is
song too.
way better than Let It Go. Now Let It Go is
It's just
catchy,
a
but
beautifully written
Yeah.
song.
Yes, it is.
It's
It
very
is
catchy and
beautifully written. You're right.
smooth and
man, you both take your Disney movies way more seriously than I do, though. Because Heather's like, I want Lion King because it's a good story, and Chris is like, I want Mulan because it's a good story, and I'm like, I like Hercules because they wear sandals.
Yeah.
Y'all watch movies different than I do. That's all right. That's all right.
I used to listen to
And then the best
Reflection,
Disney
but
song-
in Spanish, and so for the longest time I wasn't sure how to sing it in English.
It's funny.
Ridiculous. Ridiculous.
Okay, no, I don't know who. I was about to say what is the whatever. And then Men, Make a Man Out of You, or Let's Get Down to whatever the song is called. I
I
call
don't
it Let's
remember
Get
what
Down
it
to
is.
Business.
That one.
Yeah,
It is
that one.
amazing. The orchestra in that song is amazing. The it's me and my daughter's favorite song, and we always sing it together. That is the number one best Disney song. Like I used to go to basketball games, our our rec league basketball games, and play to hype myself up, I will play Make a Man Out of You.
Yes.
It's that great.
I used to play Go the Distance from, what was that guy's name? I can't even remember.
Hercules.
no, sorry, that's the irony that I'm getting to. Not Hercules. Go the Distance from the Cake, the terrible Speak Sayer, whatever the heck you call it. I used to listen to that before our games all the time. Go the Distance. Don't listen to that song. It's a terrible song. I love it.
Make a Man Out of You is probably a better pump-up song.
Yeah, but the irony being that it's not the Hercules version of Go the Distance. But
yeah, that's weird. That's a pretty slow song.
Mulan is my favorite soundtrack overall. I don't know that I like any one song like in my top 3 or 4, but overall it's my favorite soundtrack. Thoughts, Heather? No?
Yeah, I could happily listen to the whole soundtrack out of that one. Whereas a lot of the other movies, there's always one song that I just don't like.
Yeah, there's always one.
Yeah.
But in Mulan, I can't think of any of them.
Because they're all good.
All of them are just really good.
They're all good. So just today, like 3 or 4 hours ago, I hooked the leash on Charlie, and then I just let him go run around the house. We put the leash on him. He's ready to go on a walk. And so he gets really excited. So I put the leash on him, and he ran around the house, and all I could think of was the dog spreading the chicken seed all over the yard.
Yeah.
It was very reminiscent.
Yeah, which showed she was, from the very get-go, it showed that she was really smart about doing chores.
Yeah, a thinker, not a stinker. So then just to wrap up, not really honorable mentions, but just I feel like we should give some credit to the other ones that we didn't even remotely mention. Because it's Disney, right? We left out a ton of great, amazing movies. So, all the princess movies, we pretty much skipped all of them over. Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Snow White.
Oh, they all suck.
Beauty and the Beast. I think Beauty and the Beast would probably be on a lot of people's. Maybe not. I don't know. It's not on mine.
So.
No, it would be.
Especially since the new one was such a success.
The new one, yeah, it was big.
Yeah.
What other big ones did we leave out completely? Chris referenced the toys. What did we forget about?
Peter Pan.
Frozen.
Peter Pan. Pinocchio. Big. I kind of briefly mentioned that I hate the Pinocchio level. Pinocchio is kind of a strange movie.
Did we say Snow White?
We didn't mention Frozen. I think Frozen would be on a lot of people's lists.
Is
Frozen
that purely Disney though?
Yeah, that's Disney.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's Disney. That was the renaissance of Disney Animation Studios.
And it's not that I have anything against Frozen, but we don't have children, so we don't have to like it.
Yeah.
Any other big ones that we totally forgot about? What other princesses are we overlooking?
I think you said a lot of
Might
them.
have nailed them all, yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, that's our favorite. That's our favorite Disney movies. Thank you for joining us for this. Let's call it a palate cleanser episode before we move on to this next actual Last Podcasters episode that isn't going to be as exciting. So, thanks, Chris, for putting your top 5.
I'm gonna make it exciting.
Yeah. Good luck. I'm gonna just be grumpy the whole time, even if you do. Just going into.
I'm just saying.
Curmudgeon old man.
The look in his eye there. You better look out. I'm gonna make it exciting.
Chris, I gotta wake up real early tomorrow. I can only handle so much excitement. All right.
We're gonna talk for an hour about this
whatever.
episode.
You're just over there. I got the keys to the car. I can just stop recording at any time. You just keep talking to nobody. You can't even see me.
Sure.
I just bring the microphone with me, like when I'm getting ready for bed and stuff, and I just be brushing my teeth like, oh.
You hear the toilet flush in the background.
Thank you, Heather, for participating with us and offering your very animal-centric perspective on good Disney movies. And
The feminine touch.
yes, that's what we're after. Get the animals in there. Hey, Chris, do watch The Aristocats. So it's worth watching.
It is.
You may not love it, but you gotta watch it.
It made my list. That should say enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I have a laundry list of things to watch, but I will drop all of them.
your kids will
to
love
watch
it.
Aristocats.
Both of them will. Both of
I
them
need to
will.
actually make a physical list because I feel like I have a ton of movies on my list, but I don't actually have that list. So then when I have time to watch a movie, I forget what was on the list.
She's not good at Excel, Chris. She doesn't know how to use Excel.
I'm fine with Excel.
She's average at Excel.
Yeah, I'm average at Excel. You're ridiculous.
I love Excel.
Anyway, on that note, thanks for having me.
Thanks for having us, people.
And I'm probably not going to stick around for the Avatar part. So
No,
good
I wouldn't
luck.
either.
This episode is terrible, so I'm not. If I'm ever on an Avatar episode, it's not going to be
Not
for
this
this
one.
one.
Pick a different one,
Not
yeah.
my favorite one.
Pick a different one. But all right, thanks everybody.
Bye.